What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a boatload of potential leaks for a bunch of Warner Bros. Games. Now, we gotta say this very early and probably very often throughout this video. We have to take these things with a grain of salt, okay? It's very, very likely. In fact, my personal opinion is I do not believe these leaks, okay? That's just me. I know sometimes you guys say, well, you know what? The leak possibly could be true. Completely okay to disagree. I would say I'm going into this, and I'll read this out to you guys, thinking it's probably not true. Another thing to say very early, too, is you will probably have those people, because I always do have the people in these kind of leaks that say, why do you cover them if you blatantly think that they're fake? You're kind of just giving them more, you're giving them credit, you're giving them time, and maybe that makes them do it more often. Well, I look at it as, number one, it's just my opinion that it's real or fake, and I want you guys to make your own decisions. And number two, I think even if it is blatantly fake, it's important to talk about because it can give us ideas as to what could or could not be in this game. It can kind of spin discussion. I know maybe that sounds cliche, maybe that sounds fake. It's 1000% not fake. That's how I look at it, that even if these things are not real, they still give us something to discuss about these games. We can talk about, well, maybe that's not true, but this thing is. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at these leaks when I do them, okay? If you guys like this stuff, obviously make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. I cover all of the games in these leaks, so you can find all that stuff on the channel. If you guys want to subscribe to my second channel, Podcast Now Plus is its name. Link for it's in the description. Or obviously you can look it up over on YouTube. Okay, I want to thank that boy Justin over on Twitter who sent this to me. I think these have been out for a while. I feel like I found a video on YouTube that just posted, like, there was no talking. They just have the picture of the leak, and it's very hard to make out what the leak is. So he looked through it. I try to look through it kind of on my own to see if I can make out what they actually said, and he came up with the actual leak that he sent me. Again, we had to take this with a grain of salt. All right, Hogwarts Legacy. So we're just going to go through again. There's all of these different Warner Bros. Games on here. Hogwarts Legacy. Which house you choose will alter the story slightly. You can become a dark wizard if you choose and end up assisting the villain instead of defeating him. The villain is Herpo the Foul, and you fight his basilisk during one of the several boss battles over the course of the game. You have to find several of his, and he has a question mark. I'm pretty sure the word Horcruxes was in the actual leak. I'm pretty sure they talked about Horcruxes. Gotham Knights features the most villains of any Batman game to date and will continuously provide content every month for at least a year after release, varying from new cosmetics to new mission arcs featuring brand new villains. Some villains include Bruce Wayne as a Talon, Two-Face, Clayface, Deathstroke, Flamingo, Poison Ivy, Ra's al Ghul, Scarecrow, Joker, Harley Quinn, King Shark, Ventriloquist, and Lockup. Suicide Squad Kill a Justice League. League members featured are Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, Cyborg, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, Jon Stewart, Zatanna, Robin, and Hawkgirl. League members have sections of Metropolis to themselves. The more zones in those sections you take over, the more vulnerable they become, giving you an advantage in boss fights. Wolf Among Us 2 will be 5 episodes long, debuting in winter 2021. Plot features a reporter finding out about Fabletown as Bigby is acting as a bodyguard for Sleeping Beauty, while Bluebeard Hines assassin Gold Loxin hopes of killing Bigby and Snow. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. Shujinko, Takeda, Cole Young, Kroninka finalized the roster in Combat Pack 3. A skin featuring 2021 movie versions of Kang, Jax, and Melina will release after KP3. Mortal Kombat Mobile. Classic Rain, MK11 Nightwolf, MK11 Sindel, MK11 Frost, and Joker are coming before the end of the summer. Injustice 3 includes the longest story mode yet from NetherRealm, clocking in at about 9 hours. Just a few of the new faces are John Constantine, and it goes on, but you can't really see anything more than that. So that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. Now, again, let me say, I don't really believe this stuff. And that's important. It's important to elaborate on that, because when I say that, what I mean is some of the stuff I think is probably just not going to happen. Other things I feel like are going to be lucky guesses. I talk about this a lot in these kind of leaks, saying something that is a leak, saying that you know something, and then if it comes true, but you get 5 out of 20 things right, does not make you a leaker. It makes you someone who guesses at things, which you could very much argue, and I would say that's literally what I am. I do all these different videos on literally all of these games I've talked about before, and I predict things. Are all my predictions going to come true? No. In fact, I'll do predictions, and a lot of those will not come true, and then I'll just do discussions. What if this happens? I won't even predict that it will happen. I'll just discuss it, kind of just so I don't get in trouble from, again, the 10 angry people online that like to attack me, right? It's something that you have to be very aware of, that you can predict things, and if you get a certain percentage right, that's great. You may be good at guessing things, but you're not a leaker, okay? I can't say that I leak stuff because I don't know anybody in the industry. Maybe that'll happen one day, and I will try to be as transparent as possible with you guys when that happens, but as of right now, I just guess, okay? And I mean, I guess using backup, like I try to use facts, I try to use my knowledge in the gaming industry, I try to use like history that we've seen happen before. That's how I do it. So why'd I say all that stuff? Well, a lot of the stuff that I read, and we can go through each game, that'll probably take a while. I'm trying to, we're already getting long in this video. A lot of the stuff tends that I've just read out loud, I remember having read from before. So like the Gotham Knights stuff, what they did is, I think, and I'm not going after this person, I'd love to have a conversation with this person. What I think they did is they went after things that were already said about the game, because a lot of those villains on that list have been said in leaks previously, whether it was on Reddit, whether it was on 4chan, which, by the way, I believe this was on 4chan. That's where this was taken from, which is not very reliable. Either is Reddit, really all of them. Reset Era, I don't like Reset Era, but it is more reliable than those two, I would say, if we're trying to rank them. Okay, 4chan is not very reliable whatsoever, but it doesn't mean that, again, it can't happen. But I just feel like for the Gotham Knights, the villain thing, again, I feel like they took it from other people that have said a list of villains that they want in the game, and they threw in a couple of their own. I mean, again, all those villains sound awesome. Of course, there's some new ones there. There's some returning faces. Awesome. You know what I mean? I really do like that. The idea that the game would be supported post-launch makes sense. So again, there are things that could definitely happen. I just don't know if the person factually knows these things, right? And I don't know if something like that would even be circulated anyway. I would rather them finish the game than focus on, oh, okay, what's coming out in month 3 of our post-launch content. No. Warner Bros. Montreal, if you're listening, please, for the love of Jesus Christ, finish your game first, then focus on that. Suicide Squad Kill a Justice League, same thing, kind of just listing out Justice League members that could potentially be in the game. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of cool ones. Notice Batman's not in it. That has been a running theme in all of the leaks that we, quote-unquote leaks, that we've seen on that game, so that's something else, right? I like the idea that they all have their own factions, and then they have their own area, I guess, and then when you take that area down, they get weaker. I think that makes sense. I think that's very likely to happen, that because it's just that kind of game style that I think it would make sense to do it. The Hogwarts one, yeah, I mean, fighting a basilisk, it's not the basilisk that we saw in Chamber of Secrets, so they're kind of like borrowing it without borrowing it. Kind of odd. The Horcrux thing, to me, makes almost 0 sense whatsoever. Again, not really something to do, like, whatsoever, and doesn't really even make all that much sense, but helping the Dark Wizard instead of hurting them, like if you go bad, I guess that makes sense. Again, the Mortal Kombat packs is just kind of throwing out things, right? They have a time for Injustice 3 where it's like, okay, this is how long the story's gonna be. I don't know if you would know that like a year and a half before the game, or maybe a year, however long until Injustice 3 comes out. I don't know if you would know that right now. I don't even know if they would know how long it would be clocking in right now. So again, these are things that they're not insanely wild. I would say some of the Hogwarts Legacy stuff is kind of wild, but besides that, a lot of the other games, they're just listing potential characters that could be added or are already in the game, right? So they're not like super far-fetched, but again, I feel like it's borderline guessing or just predicting, like they want these things to happen versus they know they're going to happen, okay? Still fun to talk about because the Suicide Squad thing is interesting. Certain things in the Gotham Knights, like that's pretty cool. Hogwarts Legacy, like sure, I'd like to fight a basilisk. That would be kind of cool. I don't know, again, I don't know if I'd want to. It would kind of be stepping into Harry Potter territory, so maybe we'll have to have a discussion on that in the future. But see, that's why I like to talk about these things, because they can get my mind going, they can get different video ideas going for me, and I think, it's very possible you guys don't agree with me, and you say, hey, you know what? No, that makes sense. This thing on this game makes sense, and maybe it is true. So I love to have these discussions with you guys. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about anything? I know I didn't really mention Wolf Among Us. That's another thing. The episode stuff being in the winter time is when it starts. Or like this winter would be when it would release. That we've heard kind of before as well. So let me know what you think about any of these games, all of the games, in the comments below. Again, as always, if you guys do like this stuff, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. My second channel is called Podcast Now Plus. If you guys want to check that out as well, I do a video a day, just one video over there on that channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I know these videos sometimes make some people mad, but I think the general audience tends to really enjoy these. I definitely enjoy them, and so I hope to see you all on the next video.